They always say what a difference a day makes. This is my last camp in January here, and had a really rough first day. Cold, guys really had some poor technique. Looking at a smaller 51-year-old here, Tommy, and look at his point of contact way out ahead. Should maybe get impacted about right there. He's way out ahead, he rolls over, and his shoulder rotation and hip rotation slows down because he's reaching out ahead. His point of contact is killing a good swing there. So he needed better rotation and better point of contact. Let it come back farther. You can see here that kind of reaches ahead, shoulder rotation stop, and he dives down for it. He's just kind of pushing down, and then he rolls under to chase it. Want to let it come back a little bit farther. Make sure that rotation dominates the swing. Rotation, stabbing, extension, and then the snap will come. If you create that lag within the rotation, you'll get a good whipping. He had a lot of skills, just not refined on a couple things here. He's a very explosive guy for being 5'7", 180 pounds, 51 years old. Here's Jerry from the Villages. Jerry's in his 60s, and Jerry lunged a little bit here, but his low hand path was low to high, and then it came back down again. He didn't really have a loopy swing at the end so much. He just came from low to high, and then he would tend to be early and roll over, pull everything out to left field with a little bit of rollover. So he had to try to get that point of contact back. Had to try to get better rotation and a better hand path for him. He's in a good X hand path there, but again, it's into a rollover and a little bit of a lunge on it, so better rotation would be better. Here he had better rotation, but still out early and underneath the ball. But he's in a good X style position there. It's just when he gets early and the pitch is higher, he wants to chase ahead. Here's Matt. He's in his 40s, but look at this crazy loop, one of the most radical golf swings I've ever seen in my life. I mean, it was really radical, and he could punch it to right field, but he should have had long power, and he didn't have a long power. And I think one of the main reasons is rotation looks okay, and I see his lead arm pinned to his chest a lot. See it there? Lead arm is pinned to the chest, and that's part of I think the starting sequence. We have rotation, a stabbing extension of the lead arm towards the path of the ball and snap. And I thought that from the start, if he could increase that extension, he would improve immensely. Look at Robert Blackburn. Rotation, there's the stabbing extension, creating a lag, and then the snap just whips on its own. The better you do the first two, the less you have to worry about the snap. That kind of comes on its own. Not totally, but those two things are key for setting up a good lag and snap, rotation and stabbing lag. Overall, he had big framing, but every pitch, and he stayed way back in the box. It was almost like the only pitches he felt like he could swing at were thigh high because of that. Now watch Frank Henry, rotation on a higher pitch. And here's a stabbing extension. Watch that lead arm, watch how long that lag is, and then once it reaches the end, the bat head just whips. It's like cracking a whip or casting a fishing pole. You drive the butt forward, and then it whips. Of course, the rotation is a key element to make sure that's all done within the rotation. So we started out with a perfect snap here. Get rotation, stab, and snap. And pretty good. Tommy tended to lean into the pitch a little bit, so you had to really drive your rotation back. I don't like this little motion here that you have because I don't think it gives you... Watch Frank Henry. He's pulling his hands back, and when his front foot hits, he's going to rotate and come around. You kind of lose some momentum doing that. All right, here's Jerry, and watch Jerry. There's a little bit of rotation, and then it's just pretty much a push forward. There's not a great rotation. Your hands want to chase too linearly forward. Better rotation here. But your point of contact still is out too far, a little bit too far out ahead, so he kept working on bringing that back. You want to hit that ball square so you don't pull it so much every time. Watch the lag here, though. Another thing you do, Jerry, is watch, there's a lag and snap. Watch how you kind of barn door around. You're snapping there, and then you're pushing it forward at the end. You start to rotate, and you try to snap early, and you're snapping right there, then you push it forward. You aren't getting that lag and snap. That's another reason maybe why you chase that. Watch the lag. Hands lead, and then the batter comes lead here. You're snapping right there, and then you push the whole swing forward to make contact. So you lose all that momentum. He gets that extension, and then the hands just whip by. If you create that rotation, and then the extension, the bat head will whip by, and your wrist will loosely flex. So that's one thing that's going to help you out immensely. Again, watch Frank Henry again. Rotation, stab, and snap, a lag, creating a lag and snap. So, Matt, you had a very similar problem here. the lack of extension, and part of the reason was you didn't get a good stab. Watch here. You'll go part way. Now you'll extend your snap right there, then you push it through to the end. So you're snapping way before you reach the end. You aren't creating a lag. You aren't getting that lead arm extension. You're snapping about halfway through, then you just push it forward to the point B position of the rotation of the lead hand. And watch the lead arm just pinned to the chest. So you could say, well, the knob is not being driven at the bottom half of the ball. Watch how he drives the knob at the bottom half of the ball, hands the knob, and watch how Jeff Hall. Knob initially, then the hands go towards the bottom half of the ball. So you could say you're either not driving the knob, or you could say, watch the lead arm on these guys. You're getting the lag. Every one of these two athletes who are great hitters are getting the lag. If you create a lag, you're going to go ahead and get a better snap. So this is better here. You come off a little bit better here with a little bit better extension. And then the swing simulator, I think, is a lot better. Look at there. There's no early snap. You just lag and snap. So we get over to Jerry on here. Again, Jerry, you had a little bit of a similar problem. You wanted to snap early, and that looked pretty good. Now, getting off the tee here, look at how your rotation slows. Watch this, Tommy. Look at your shoulders. They're now rotating. So each of these drills will make you fail in a different way. That's why you have to, it's so critical when you do them that you have to make sure you're doing it correctly. No shoulder rotation. You're just pushing your hands down. And that rotation has to be key. So you come around here later on, and then there's a much better rotation here. Well, this is Matt here. So a better rotation here and a better stab. Look at these final swings here at the end, and you can see there's a tendency to roll over the top and reach for it. So we have to make sure we let that point of contact come back. But the power levels you had, Tommy, were incredible. You raised your average incredibly. I think you had 10 or 12 home runs. It was just amazing. One stretch, I think you had 3 out of 5. Here's your rotation. There's your stab, and then your snap. You even a little bit jammed there. Even a little bit jammed. Look at your hands, the stab and the top arm extension. But your rotation's so good and your hand path is so good that ball is a long line drive. And here towards the end, we had some just beautiful swings. Look at that. Look how level that plane is. Rotation. Watch the stab creating a lag, and then look at the snap. Axe snap on a good plane. Look how that follows the same path all the way around. Hips are into it. Shoulders are into it. Great. Just a phenomenal job. For a small guy, anybody would be proud to have that swing that played a high level of ball. Matt, we came here, and you just put on a show. 12 home runs, but you're still leaving, I think, a lot on the table. You look how much difference, how much that loop is gone, but watch your lead arm. It's still somewhat pinned. You're not getting it out extended as far as like Hall or Blackburn here. So you're leaving a lot on the table even there. I mean, you're explosive. You have a good whip-like swing, but even there, your lead arm is not as strong as it is. I'm trying to get you to stab it ahead. Now that's the knob coming up. Now I'm trying to get you to level off. Lead arm extension. You didn't mention that at the end of this video, but for me, a lead arm extension for you is going to be the whole key to keep you from going back to a golfing uppercut. That's a great looking swing there. Not perfect. Watch, you could get a little bit better lead arm extension, but pretty good. Pretty good. You get a little bit, maybe a little bit better snap. But watch Hall. Watch that lead arm extend. And then there's a snap through. Yours is very comparable to his right there. So great job. Now we come over here to Jerry. He's pointing for a home run. And Jerry, you didn't hit one out, but you got to the base of the fence and had some long balls. But you're still a little bit early and you're a little bit unorthodox. Your hands still want to come up, but you did a great job hitting. You increased your average a ton. And anyhow, nice level swing. You're still a little bit early, but axe snap, you just, probably 8 inches early on that ball, but better rotation, less lunge, nice level swing there. So guys, a phenomenal job. Let's take a look at some of these live swings. Again, look at that axe position. There's your snap, just a tiny bit early. So I think your potential for developing more power is there. Just keep working on it and try to keep those wrists from rolling over. So phenomenal job. Let's look at the live swings, and just a super job in camp, guys, and congratulations on breaking the simulated game base hit record of 38. It's now 39. Nice, Jerry. Nice. Good ball. Nice. Nice. Good ball. Watch that. Look at that go. Nice shot. Very in true village championship manner, you had the tying hit at 37 for the when we played the simulated game, and anyhow got hot all day long today. What made the biggest difference for you?
Several steps, obviously, was getting that, instead of looping it, getting that bat level, load the back, and staying on that back foot as long as I could, and then just snap through it, just snapping the hips, and then just getting that stab and rotation through there, and it really started coming together towards the end for me. I could really feel it coming. Big thing is keeping that weight back on that foot, staying balanced until.
Hey, let's go! 2 in a row.
Another one, baby.
Oh, get out of here.
Another bomb.
Longest one yet.
5'7",
How old are you?
51.
And 180 pounds? And you bombed ball after ball out here today. It was incredible. Had a stretch of 3 out of 4, right? And what was the biggest key? You came in a little more refined than the other guys, but what was the biggest key for you?
Mine was the rotation, making sure I got that front shoulder rotated fully, and then doing the karate chop, making sure I don't rollover. Rollovers, I think, is my biggest.
The rollover would make your shoulder lead ahead and down and be underneath some of those balls.
Yeah, and timing. Timing's my other thing.
Oh yeah, that's another one out.
Nice.
Good shot, kid. Oh yeah, got extended there, baby.
Nope.
That's good.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you what, Matt, that was a really fine piece of hitting. Because you stayed back. You stayed back. The launch angle was good. You see that, Tommy?
Yep.
He didn't dive into it. And struggled with that really big uppercut loop yesterday. I'd say you turned it around, you probably hit a dozen home runs, hit balls close to 380. What was the big turnaround for you? What do you walk out here with?
Yeah, so 4 things really. Keeping the head of the bat down, standing up in the box, right? Making sure I stay back. But the big thing, the aha moment, was making contact on the rotation and rotating right through it. Like you say, bury the axe right in the bat. That's a rotation piece, and that's where the big difference came from.